In the Home Office committee, in the select committee, there was an exchange 2 days ago, and in it, it's established that the Prime Minister is playing around with figures in an attempt to make the Home Office actions regarding small boats so far look better than they actually are. He talks about expelling 5,000 plus Albanians, and gives the impression that these are Albanians who have come to Britain illegally in small boats. In fact, as you'll see from the exchange, that isn't true.
The Prime Minister on the 7th of December made it known that this year we have returned 5,000 people who are Albanians and cut those arrivals by 90%. I would like to know where he gets that information from and how confident he can be in that information, because when the Permanent Secretary puts forward a document to this committee that says, and if you look at column 3, Albanian returns total since 2020, 762, unless I'm reading this data incorrectly, something is wrong somewhere, isn't it?
Mr. Longo, may I just pick up the first point that you make? And I agree with you. I'm bound to say that in my first 3 full parliamentary days in this role, I have been briefed exceptionally well, and I've been supported by the officials, not just those who sit behind me, but a wider team as well. But I do take on board, and I agree with you. And I agree with the thrust of your point. I can see the column that you are looking to. The number that I have in front of me is 5,100 since the 13th of December 2022, and that's the number that I have in front of me.
So were you briefed on this paper then?
So, if I may, I can explain the difference. So, this relates to just those Albanians who will have come in small boats. We will have returned Albanians who will have either come through other routes into the UK, irregularly or clandestinely, Albanians who are here who came lawfully but then overstayed, or Albanians who were foreign national offenders. So, when the Prime Minister is talking about the increase of removals to Albania, he is talking about the total number of people that we have returned to Albania under our agreement, which is the 5,000.
I need to stop you there. I'm sorry. I have to disagree, because on the government website in front of me, there is a quote from the Prime Minister that says, last year, 1/3 of all those arriving in small boats
Correct.
were Albanian.
Yes.
This year we have returned 5,000 people and cut those arrivals by 90%. And Albanian arrivals have far more recourse to the courts than anyone under this new legislation. That's why I'm so confident that this bill will work. I don't understand your explanation.
They are different things, if I may. So the Prime Minister's statement is correct. We have returned more than 5,000 people to Albania. The stats on those arriving in small boats has also cut by 90%, but they are different subsets of data.
So of the 5,000 people, what proportion had arrived in small boats then?
So it will be the number of 762, but that's since 2020. So our returns in 2023 of Albanian small boat arrivals, and they may have arrived in a different period, because if people have asylum claims or other claims, their removal and their arrival may not be in the same reporting period. To June 2023, January to June 2023, it's the 531 Albanian returns in small boats.
It says, the Prime Minister says, this year we have returned 5,000 people.
Yes, we have returned 5,000 people. The chart in the Permanent Secretary's letter, it only relates to those who have arrived on small boat. The Prime Minister's is all Albanian removals who have no lawful right to be in the United Kingdom.
So the Prime Minister is mixing information?
The Prime Minister was setting the data, which is correct. We've done more than 5,000 removals to Albania this year, and the numbers of small boat crossings from Albanians has been cut by 90%.
Mr. Longo, may I just say that I agree and understand the thrust of your question, but the number that I do have, the overall number, is 5,100, and that is as of the 30th of November this year. So between the 13th of December 2022 up to the 30th of November 2023, 5,100.
Lee Anderson.
Just one more question, Chair. So just to emphasise what Marco said, Ministers, that 5,100, so therefore that's not just made up of small boat arrivals. That could be Albanians that have been in this country for donkey's years.
Or who have arrived by different means, yes.
Okay.
Who've been in prison. I think there's a large number who've been...
Foreign national offenders, yes.
Yes. Who we would know where they are, we can transport them easily.
Yes.
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 Yeah, okay. But just to go back to what the Permanent Secretary says, excluding the Albanians, only 408 returns since 2020.
Now, I salute the arrangement between Britain and Albania. I think it's a good arrangement. But at the same time, it comes with duties, and those duties are that we are honest about what we're doing. And this sleight of hand, this legend de main, this nonsense, this prestidigitation, there is a place for magic, and that's in a Derham Brown performance, and he's significantly more adept and more agile and more intelligent, frankly, than the people on display answering these questions in the Home Office. It doesn't matter whether ministers are new in the job. They are supported by civil servants, and the civil servants in this case seem to be monumentally useless. And as for the Prime Minister's juggling of information, presumably he's relying on the same civil servants who are just playing games to defend their lack of effort. They only have one job to do, and that is bureaucratic. And if they cannot get to hand, if they cannot deal with the paperwork they're supposed to be dealing with, they need to be moved on to a different department where maybe they can get to work, and maybe different civil servants can be brought into the Home Office to do the job that has clearly been wanting for the last 13 odd years since Mrs. May gave everybody the opportunity to idle their time away under what she called a hostile environment, which really in any other determination would be best described as an environment of laziness, a casual environment, an environment where nobody has to do anything.